Hello there, I'm Rick, and today I want to talk to you about your sunk cost and the decision-making process, how much simpler it can be to embrace the alternative cost, and what's ahead of you is more important than what's behind you quite often. But we just get it confused. I also want to talk to you about that you can use anything around you as a vehicle for that understanding, for self-awareness, and the elevation and level of self-awareness brings if we act on what we observe. And I'm a big computer game player. I've been playing computer games for my entire life, so right now I'm gonna use computer games as an example, but throughout this series I'm also going to be talking about board games because I do believe in the state of play and what curiosity brings to the level up process. But for now, I want to talk about a computer game. And the thing is, you can, for example, if you're a parent, you can also use what we talk about right now when you're talking to your kid. But you could also envision whatever project you're working on or anything. But in this game, you quite often have like a bag you can carry things in. And the beautiful thing with the computer game is simplify. You usually have like a grid where you put items in. And in most games, it's a bit of a resource management. You want to find stuff that has a certain value and you want to maximize whatever you can fit in your bag. And the thing is, the beautiful metaphor here with having this bag, imagine having a bag with 10 slots in it. Then you can simplify by saying what, and if you're going in for, say, finding cash or gold or whatever currency it's in the game, you can say, well, if I know I have a limit of 10 slots, I can allocate what is a slot potentially worth. And the beautiful thing about doing this ahead of time, I'm simplifying the decision process. Because if it is, say, a player versus player game, the decision process has to be very quick because you have to make snappy, instant decisions. What should you keep and what should you throw away? And that's why ignoring the sunk cost comes in. If you have pre-decided this is the amount of potential gain for a slot, you can just toss away what's there right now, so you can bring things into the game that would potentially helpful for you. But if you find something better, you just ditch the old one, grab the new one, and then you continue on your quest or journey or whatever you're there to do. And we do, instead of saying, well, comparing, should I do this, should I do that, resulting quite often that we don't survive the quest, or we don't we're using too much time in this decision process, so we're not acting on why we're there already. And now I'm talking basically any computer game has this mechanism, so you can talk to your kid about it for whatever they play. Be curious. Have they thought about the sunk cost? Ignoring what they actually brought in, thinking what they're going to take out after the quest, after the game session, after whatever they're there for. And in real life, you do this all the time too. We quite often get confused with, well, I've invested so much into this project, I really like to see it through. I've been struggling with this for so long, I ought to have it. I've been betting on this horse forever and ever. Now, random should put me in my favor. We have this biased thinking that's supposed to be fair, and eventually persistence is going to pay off. Quite often, though, the real win is when we can let go of that sunk cost. We can let go of what the investment and looking ahead. People on the stock market is really, really good. Myself, I really started to level up when I learned the words from Warren Buffett. He looked at any dollar as $10 or something like that. So he kind of estimated what's the net revenue of what I'm looking at right now to make up, to simplify the decision making. Should I invest this in something that's going to be gone tomorrow? Or should I, then if you compare $1 as a $10, you're making a different decision versus you only seeing the one. So by thinking ahead on your decisions tomorrow, those decisions are going to be easier for you. Pack the bag if you want to go to the gym. Decide ahead of time. You don't get to decide if you go to the gym without putting the clothes on. Do a few things to simplify your decision making so you can let go of what you've already invested, say staying on the couch. It's quite nice. The hardest, remove that from the equation if you can. And then once again you're dressed and you're outside with shoes on, the decision is a different one, quite often a simpler one. And you can learn that from anything you do. Look at your own decision process. Look at the sunk cost. Are you willing to let go? If you're not, it could be that pride is part of that decision. Status is, I've invested, so what am I going to tell my boss if I let this go? It's really valuable to understand, why am I clinging on? Why am I not dropping this for something that, looking ahead, should serve us better? And with that, I'll leave you. Thank you so much for stopping by, my friend. Have a good one. Bye-bye.